Welcome to Chamber Connection. And look at what Matt made us. I'm so excited. I am Mary Hodson. I am the president of the Chamber of Commerce here in Hutchinson, Minnesota. And as I told you last month, we are now rolling in the deep with all of our different events that are coming. And so today I invited the Minnesota Garlic Festival's own Jerry Ford to join me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure.
It's so nice to see you again because, of course, there was a hiatus for a couple of years.
Oh my, yes.
And we're so thrilled to have the Garlic Festival back in Hutchinson again. There were 2 years that you took off to manage all the things that were still happening.
Right.
And here you are. Welcome.
We're back for the 15th annual, and we couldn't be more excited.
15 already.
Yeah, 17 years, but 15
yeah.
festivals.
I get
yes.
that too. I understand that. So I'm really excited to just kind of jump in and talk about the Garlic Festival. I think a lot of people think that it's all things garlic, and it's a lot of garlic, but why don't you just give us an idea of what is the Garlic Festival?
Sure. It is about garlic. The reason we started this, it's supported by the Sustainable Farming Association of Minnesota, and it's really about the farmers. We have all these wonderful local farmers who are putting food on people's tables. And so we wanted a way to bring that out here in a larger event, and we wanted a hook. Well, garlic is the hook.
Yeah.
And I actually, the first time I proposed it, they thought it was a joke. They thought I was joking that,
Right.
well, let's do a garlic festival. And pretty soon after that, we were doing one. And the first one surprised us with 750 people showing up. Fortunately, we had enough parking, and then we needed to move to the McLeod County Fairgrounds to have enough space.
Yeah.
So yes, there will be the first of this year's garlic crop there. 15 of the finest growers throughout the state, and actually bordering states too.
Okay.
And it will be from their crop. They will have cured it in such a way that you can buy enough there to store in your kitchen, if you store it properly, for months. And you can have all of that fresh local garlic.
Okay.
And that was a leading question, storing it properly.
Yeah, it was, because I'm like, okay, well, we need to talk about that just before I forget about it.
Sure.
What is the proper way to store garlic in your kitchen for it to last months?
Very much like this. You want it out in the open, never in the dark, never in the refrigerator.
Okay, the dark is what got me.
In a
because
cupboard,
It's in a
yeah.
cupboard, hanging, right? Okay.
Yeah, not in the dark. It wants indirect light.
Okay.
You don't want it right in sunlight, but indirect light. Kitchen counter, hanging up on cabinets, that sort of thing is great. A little airflow, and then once you've opened it up and peeled it, then yes, of course, you want to put that into the refrigerator.
Okay.
In a sealed container so that it doesn't surprise you with the odor the next time you open the refrigerator.
Right? Okay.
So that's the proper way. So we always like to tell people, it's like, well, I can't buy that much garlic at once. Well, yes, you can, because if you'll store it well, you'll have it through till January and February.
Okay.
And then you can just start dreaming about the next festival.
So that completely explains why my garlic doesn't last very long, because I always tuck it. I have a garlic hook that's right inside the cabinet. And so now I've learned something already, and we're not even 5 minutes in.
There you go. My job here is done.
Well, let's go. No, we've got a lot to talk about.
Okay.
So the Minnesota Garlic Festival, if I'm doing my math correctly, is on the 13th?
That's correct. August 13th, second Saturday in August, the Saturday before County Fair.
The Saturday after Relay for Life.
Indeed. And yes, it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, goes till 5 o'clock, and you can also experience chefs who will be doing cooking demos all throughout the day, and these are some of the finest from all around Minnesota. And of course, everything they're going to do is going to involve some garlic. We also have food vendors that we like quirky sorts of things. You know, you won't find anything on a stick at Garlic Festival. It's kind of a rule we have.
Kind of a rule, okay.
Just to set ourselves apart. But of course, everything with garlic, there will be, odd as it may sound, garlic chip cookies. There will be garlic ice cream. There will be several things that probably should not have garlic in them, but on that day they will. As a matter of fact, Crow River Winery, just down the road here, they grow their own garlic and they make a garlic, well, they say it's a cooking wine. One day out of the year, it is a drinking wine.
Okay.
And they make a wonderful Bloody Mary with that. And of course, they will be
Yes.
on site at the festival
Yes.
with all those local beers, their wines, and you can sip garlic wine if you really want to.
I have a question for you.
All right.
So, I have recently learned about the difference between the black garlic. That black garlic is sweeter. Is that what kind of garlic they're using in the cookies and in the ice cream?
No,
Really?
they could.
Okay.
They could. The black garlic is said to be fermented and caramelized garlic. It is put under pressure and heat for a long period of time,
Okay.
and it turns into this black thing that you can pop in your mouth. A lot of that tang of the garlic, the bite, is gone.
Yes.
And there are unsubstantiated rumors that it's really, really good for you. Well, garlic is really good for you.
Right.
So sure, it would be. I have yet to taste a black garlic that I've liked.
So I'm just going to tell you, and maybe if you're from Hutchinson, you already know, or maybe you don't, that Flank Steakhouse makes a maple syrup with black garlic.
Oh my goodness, didn't know that. I
And
love
let
Flank
me tell
Steakhouse.
you, it is phenomenal.
Well, I'll
It
go
is
right over there after this.
So good. And I think that when he said it was black garlic, I didn't know what black garlic was. I think I still don't necessarily know what it is after
Right.
your description of it. But it was delightful. And it didn't have that pungent or that tang. It was just really smooth and really delightful.
Well, that does not surprise me because I think it works great as an ingredient
Yeah.
in something. To just eat one whole, not particularly.
Not for me, but
Right.
I'm not also throwing garlic in my mouth
Right.
on a regular basis anyway, right? Black or other.
Not whole anyway.
Yeah.
There will be vendors at the festival who will have black garlic. As a matter of fact, some of the growers themselves make their own black garlic,
Okay.
and they can sell that. And so you will find it there. And yes, I agree. As an ingredient,
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
So you mentioned that you started the first year with 750 people, and now you're up substantially.
There's a
You
few
grew.
more. Yeah.
There's a few more. I think we were at 5,000-6,000.
Not
that
quite. Not quite. We were.
Oh no, it was 5,000-6,000. I know. No, I'm kidding.
Well, it could have been.
Yeah.
We do our best to keep track as people come through the front gate. When you've got a carload of people and you're trying to get them all in at the, so our estimates have been between 3,500 and 4,000, all of whom go home smelling completely different by the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's not intensely crowded
Right. It's like
at the fairgrounds.
perfect.
Yeah, it's and this fairgrounds. I don't live in McLeod County myself. I'm up in Wright County. This is the best fairgrounds in the state.
Oh, yeah.
Shy
We
of
hear
maybe
that-
the state fair.
Well,
but,
we
you know.
hear that a lot.
Right.
I think that our audience, and I keep trying to explain to everybody how busy our fairgrounds actually is throughout
Oh,
the
yes.
entire year, because people really like the amount of space there is and the staff that works really hard to make
Oh,
sure that they
yes.
get everything they need.
Yes, Randy Starkey out
Yep.
there and his whole crew. We love them. They take such good care
Well,
of
he
us.
was what did you name him one year?
He was a grand marshal.
The Grand Marshal
Yes, we
of
do.
the particularly peculiar promenade.
That was almost
Almost.
right.
Yeah, close.
Peculiar Pragmatic Promenade,
Oh, you're going to be pragmatic on
which
me
is
now.
a parade that perambles around the perimeter of the premises at 1:37 p.m. On Garlic Festival Day. And it's kind of like a full contact sort of parade. And people are just, I mean,
It's so
music,
much
quirky.
fun.
Thank you.
It
We
is
have
so
a
much
blast.
fun. Yeah. It is not anything that you think it's going to be until you're there and you can see it for yourself. Because we're never going to give it any justice for anybody else, right?
Right.
We're just not going to be able to do that. We have a lot of people who come out from the cities and all
Yep.
over the state to this event.
Oh, yeah, many states.
Yeah, and so it's really fun. Now, some things are changing, some things are being updated. What else are we going to see?
Well, it's not so much that there are new things in particular, but the way we're doing them
Okay.
will change a bit. The food situation will change in that we used to run like one single restaurant, and there were a few scattered vendors who did things like garlic ice cream and garlic
Right.
chip cookies. And then, of course, we had the beverage vendors with the winery and with a couple others doing gourmet coffees and all. And it was a madhouse. Everybody wanted in there, and everybody wanted in at noon because, hey, it's lunchtime or dinner here in Minnesota. And so we now have invited food vendors who will be there doing all different kinds of things, and they'll be more spread out. So it won't be this huge, intense thing in one place. Right.
All right. Yeah, the food in the past has been phenomenal.
And it will be again.
I mean, really, because you're bringing people from all over the state who really know what they're doing. They are cooking with garlic. Some of those things you would never realize they have garlic in them. I don't think that you walk out breathing garlic in any way, shape, or form. But I do find that it is a great family-friendly event.
It is.
The Naren come. Are the Naren going to be here again this year?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
The Naren of New Ulm.
Yep.
Costumed characters. The word Naren actually loosely translates to village idiot. And maybe that's why they don't translate it very often. And so it's this whole cast of characters and German tradition.
Yep.
And handmade masks and costumes that are gorgeous.
Yes.
Or maybe a little scary on some of them. That cat I've never gotten used to. So they will be there. We are also, Steve Russell is going to be back with us. He was at the 2019 festival, and he is like a person who can juggle while riding a mini bike and all these wild things, and highly entertaining. And a lot of our entertainment just comes to you.
Right.
I tell all of our entertainers, if you see a line of people, entertain it.
Yes.
So instead of going to a stage and, they're going to come to you. They're troubadours. And
Yes.
They're moving around. And then we have one of our brass bands that is a lot of fun. They're called Preludes to a Blizzard. And they're just a blast. And then, of course...
I'm trying not to watch Liz, who is in our background, who produces this, and she always is giving me all the things. I'm just trying not to look at her
Okay.
because
I
I
haven't
know
looked over
that
yet.
she is giggling over there because this is a great interview, and the things that you guys come up with just make it so much fun.
Well,
It's quirky.
we do it because it is fun.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, we'd need to go out and get real jobs because it'd be way too much work.
Right.
And it's such a labor of love.
Yeah.
And it is about local.
Yes.
It is about. We're also. I say that we like to trick people into learning about sustainability. That cup that I'm eating out of, drinking out of, is compostable, not just recyclable, but it can go into the compost. And so we have a lot of some environmental stewardship message as well.
Right.
You won't. You're not going to see rides that spit out diesel fumes. You know, county fair is great for that, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
It's a lot of.
But this is the Sustainable Farming Association.
That's right, and
so to teach and to steward the husbandry of the land, if you will,
right.
Sharing that with other people is really important to
Oh,
you.
I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling pretty good about that right now.
Oh, and one other
Yeah.
entertainer we have is a group called Flamenco Mateo. And if you've never seen flamenco guitar and dance,
It is beautiful.
yes, it's gorgeous.
It is amazing to watch.
Oh, I booked them because I want to see them perform.
But you know, if you're going to have fun, other people are going to have fun. And it
course.
might be something new to some people, and it might be something like, I know of it, I understand it, and I have an appreciation for it, so I'm going to go because of that. Other people are going to go out of curiosity. Right? Okay.
Indeed. And we like to think that once you get in there, you get hooked.
Yeah.
We look around and everybody is smiling. That to me is the sign of a good festival.
So you have some vendors, you know, usually they're selling kind of their wares, right? We also know that one of our friends, Rebecca, will be there with Olive on Tap.
Oh, sure.
Because Rebecca's with us at our own Arts and Crafts Festival. And then you've had some maybe farmers market-like items as well in the past.
Yeah, somewhat. We don't want to compete with a farmer's market. So it's not like you'd go there and buy, tomatoes.
But you can get
cucumbers.
baked items.
Indeed, and you can get things like the olive products and the sauces. There will be every imaginable garlic sauce.
So my husband Kevin loves to try out all the different sauces and then take at least one home. He always says at least one, and we have bags of them as we go because he's really a sauce person. Don't hold this against me. I don't do coffee, and I don't do sauces a lot. So it's really fun for him to get something different than what I would get.
To me, a lot of foods are just an excuse for the sauce. So I'm with him.
I get it because that's what he really enjoys. So I appreciate that because there's a little something for everybody. If you're not a wine person, there's beer. If you're not a beer person, there's wine.
And there's coffee. There's iced coffees. There's kombucha.
Oh,
which a lot of
I
people may
suppose
know.
that's really been coming up in the last few years.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
understand what it is.
Right. My wife drinks it pretty much every day. And different kinds of beverages like that. And there's not a single beverage that has high fructose corn syrup in it at the festival. You can get those all the time.
Yeah.
Try these other things,
Right.
these fruit juices, lemonades, things like that at the festival.
I love that.
Now, I did want to mention that coming up the week before the festival in the Hutchinson Leader, there will be on the front page a coupon for 2 tickets for the price of 1 for the festival.
Okay.
And all you have to do is show that at the front gate, and 2 people get in for the price of 1.
Awesome. You've never really, there's not a lot of barriers to going. It's a low cost to get in. You're always putting out these coupons for people to be able to use because really you want people to be able to be there.
We do.
But then there's a few costs that have to get covered. But you're not,
Yeah.
Come on, bring it in, bring it in.
We try not to nickel and dime people once you get in the door.
Yeah.
The kids' activities are all free. There's the entertainment for the kids, and then there's also, we do a feature where they will prepare their costume or something so that they can participate in the Peculiar Pragmatic Promenade and be the kids' contingent in that parade. And then starting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, talk about wind power, kite making. So you can make your own kites, and we don't charge extra for that. We may ask for a donation, tip jar sort of thing. And we actually have the former director of the Minnesota Kite Flying Society, yes, there is such a thing, who directs this whole thing. And then you look towards the south on the fairgrounds there, towards the grandstand, and the air is suddenly full of kites down there. So that's that very popular feature at the festival. Now,
I'm clearly in the wine tent more than I'm looking in the skies at 1 o'clock.
yeah, you need to get out to the south.
I need to go look a little bit farther over, yeah.
And take a
I love that because it's a great way to help kids understand that you can make things that you go and buy, right?
And they can make it themselves.
They can make it themselves
Yeah.
and use their creativity and experiment with that.
Right, yeah.
And it's been plenty windy this year.
It has. Hopefully it'll be not a south wind.
Right.
Because then they have to turn around, go all the way to the grandstand and fly the kites back towards
Right.
the pavilion. So I also wanted to mention that if a 2-for-1 coupon is not enough for you, one of the coolest things to do is to volunteer. If you volunteer for the festival, you get one of these nice red shirts that says staff on the back, and you get VIP parking. So, and instructions on the secret entrance for the VIP parking. You know, it's like you show your pass and, hey, I'm with the band, and you get in for that. And then you get to work with these people who are just having a blast at whatever they're doing, whatever task you sign up for.
Okay.
So on the website,
I was just going to ask you, how do people get there?
On
See,
the website.
Jerry doesn't really need me here. I'm just here.
oh, it's a lot more fun with
It's a
you.
lot more fun, but
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
so good at this and you're so passionate
Oh,
about it. I
thank
always
you.
appreciate that.
I appreciate that
Okay,
too.
website.
The website is, I'm going to play to the camera here. The website is mngarlicfest.com, and the hashtag is the hashtag MNGarlicFest. So if you go to MNGarlicFest, how many times can I say this?
You can say it multiple times.
mngarlicfest.com, and you'll find volunteer in one of those menus, and it takes you to a sign up. It's easy, and they remind you leading up to it. And it's just a really fun way to get involved with the festival.
Super fun.
I'll stop playing to the camera.
No, it's okay. You can. I told you that's
That's
yours.
my camera.
That's your camera. Yep. That's why it says Jerry Ford all over it. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just kind of review some of our facts here. It's 10 to 5.
10 to 5.
It's on the 13th, Saturday the 13th of August.
Correct.
The week after Relay for Life of McLeod County, the weekend before the McLeod County Fair.
Right.
Let's work on, I mean, it's the perfect time, right? You guys have a big tent. The
Right.
fair can use the tent, maybe split some costs, but you have a
Yep.
really good relationship also with the county fair.
Oh, we do, yes.
Fairgrounds, and that makes a huge
They
difference.
treat us really well,
Yeah.
and we try to promote the county fair as much as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, McLeod County has just got good stuff going with this.
And I didn't have to say it. I'm just saying. We are McLeod proud. Hashtag McLeod proud. Hashtag Much and Hutch.
Yes.
Hashtag love where you live. And if you love where you live, this is a great opportunity to learn about more how you can more sustainably love where you live as well.
Right,
And I
right.
love that. I love that it's a Minnesota event, but that it's here. And that's partly because of our hospitality here in the community for you, your organizers, and your volunteers. And I remember being in line a couple of years ago. I mean, it was like 14 years ago now because, of course, COVID in dog years is,
Right,
that's
right.
what I say. And there was a couple that had gotten there somehow. I don't know how they got there or how they found out.
Right.
And they were from Southwest Minnesota. And they're like, this is amazing. And he's like, I never would have guessed something like this out in the boonies. We're not in the
We're
boonies.
not in the boonies.
But he was saying that, you know, like, because in greater Minnesota, you know that there's so many great things
Right.
in Minnesota that aren't in the metro.
Oh.
And so he was just really excited about that. And to listen to other people talk about it, you know, I just kind of beam and try to keep my mouth shut.
Well, we get
Don't
the
say anything, Liz.
suggestion. We get the suggestion and the offer regularly to move the festival into the Twin Cities. And our purpose from the very beginning was to be in the outstate, to be in a smaller town, to bring people out from the metro to the countryside.
But we appreciate that.
And so when people bring that up, I always say, well, I'm sure the next director would like to do that, but I'm not. I'm staying in Hutch.
Okay, so we know when it is. We know how people can get involved if they want to, if they want to volunteer for a few hours.
Yeah,
Probably?
Yeah, an hour. You can do
Yep.
more if you want to. You might get there and decide, hey, volunteering is the coolest thing.
Well, it is.
You know, and end up staying for the day.
Okay, perfect. But they can do that at mngarlicfest.com.
That's correct. That's perfect, yes.
Oh, if you missed any of that, you can go to explorehutchinson.com. You can call 320-587-5252. Thank you, Matthew. It's almost as if we didn't plan it, but it works out well for me. Works for me, Jerry. That's what's important.
That's
here.
what's important.
That's what's really important.
Yes, we all know that.
But we want to make sure that you get the information that you need. So if you didn't catch that earlier, we are happy to help you down at the chamber. Jerry, last thoughts before we wrap up here. Last thoughts about the Garlic Festival. What are you most looking forward to?
I love seeing all the garlic growers because it's like our family reunion.
Sure.
Once a year, and it's not just the 15 who are selling there, but there will be probably more than the legal limit of garlic growers in one place at one time. So that's a big fun thing for me. And then I just love seeing crowds having a great time.
Good. I love going because it just has a relaxed atmosphere. And you're right, everybody seems to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's just enjoying themselves and having a good time.
Right.
In Hutchinson.
Well done.
Well done. Thank you so much for taking the time to come. I know that you're working on last minute details, but thank you for being here and sharing with us a little bit more about the Garlic Festival. And again, if you need more information and you didn't catch it, go to explorehutchinson.com. You're going to find it on the community calendar, or you can call us at 320-587-5252. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Chamber Connection with Jerry Ford. The crowd goes wild. Matt goes out slowly.
A slow fade to black, yeah.